All right, guys, we did this series on the 4 horsemen: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. In this video, we're going to talk about how do you slay those 4 horsemen. And the first is criticism.
Yeah, man. So normally I tell people that you gotta kind of, you need to use I language when you're, yes, exactly.
Eye language? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Eye gaze?
Well, that doesn't hurt, actually.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't hurt. But instead of you and you always.
Oh,
you know.
You always is a great sentence to listen to coming from a partner.
Avoid the absolutes. Don't use always, never,
yeah,
and stuff like that. But also, when you're saying you, if I come to you and I'm like, you do this, I don't like that. That's not I language. It's not I language when you start with, I feel like when you do this, you're a jack off. You need to focus it on you and your feelings. I feel hurt when this happens, you know, or I feel like we maybe could talk about that kind of thing. Okay. Gentle startup.
When this happens, I feel, or it makes me feel. And again, it takes away the blame. It takes away what could become the feeling of criticism.
Right.
Even if it's rightly deserved occasionally.
Yes.
Let's be realistic. We all screw up.
Yeah.
But if you are perceiving an attack, it doesn't help.
You automatically go on the defensive, which is something we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah. So contempt is next.
Yeah.
Okay. And usually, if there's a lot of contempt in a relationship, there is a lack of feeling appreciated too. Yeah. Which is funny. This goes to what we talk about all the time is high regard. Because when you hold somebody in high regard and there's something that happens, you don't assume that they did it because they were trying to do something bad or to anger you or for whatever reason. They made a mistake. And again, you're assuming and holding them in high regard so that, let's say they knock over an iced tea onto your carpet.
I don't know who you're talking about.
You know, when you're being kind of an asshole, you're assuming you did that out of anger or frustration as opposed to, it was an accident. You didn't do it on purpose.
I'm graceful.
Yeah, twice in a week, but we won't go there. So, high regard, appreciate.
Yeah, you can absolutely. One thing I saw said small things often. Make small statements of appreciation. Acknowledge things that...
And what's the Gottman ratio too? I forget what the number is off the top of my head.
I actually looked at one of the articles today, and the one that I saw said 5-1, but I've heard 5-1.
That's what it was. Okay.
7-1.
Okay, so more is better in this case.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, last time I looked at the most recent data said 7-1.
Okay, so if you are being more negative in all of your interactions, you're going to have problems in the relationship.
Yeah, and that 7-1, by the way, is not to gain ground. That's just breaking even.
That's breaking even.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep in mind, Gottman, they can literally look at, 1 minute of conversation with a couple and predict whether they're going to end up divorced or not with a scary level of accuracy. A lot of it goes to how you talk. Are you critical with your partner? Really, are you holding them in high regard? Because the tone of voice is completely different when you hold somebody in high regard, when there's affection in your words. So defensiveness is next. Okay. And on this, I look at it as own your shit.
Yeah.
If you're screwed up, go, I completely dropped the ball and I apologize.
Now, what if you didn't screw up and your partner's, criticizing you? Where does that go with defensiveness?
What we teach guys to do, and we run into this, is because a lot of times women will get their feelings hurt. And we teach them to say, I'm sorry that XYZ hurt your feelings. Because you're not admitting you did anything wrong when you did nothing wrong. And feelings are completely subjective. So I'm sorry that hurt your feelings. I didn't realize that, and, apologize that her feelings were hurt.
Right.
Not...
And I will note that if you do that, do be careful about the tone that you use, because that can come...
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
Some women are going to pick up on that you're apologizing that their feelings were hurt, but not for what you did. And then they're going to get mad. And the thing is, then it goes to boundaries, because the boundaries are a big part of all of this anyway. And, where I was going to go with the reason I asked you that question is because, sometimes when people are critical of their partner and their partner starts to get defensive, the person getting defensive sometimes needs to realize that it's not actually about them.
No, it's usually not.
And draw that boundary within themselves that they're not going to react.
Well, and you talk about the tone. So, well, and again, quality men don't react, they respond. Right. But, babe, I didn't realize, I'm sorry that me doing that hurt your feelings. I'll try to pay a little more attention in the future. And when you, again, the high regard is a completely different tone. There's no sarcasm in there. There's no little inflection that's designed to be the equivalent of the thunk on the forehead or, a jab in any way. It is genuine. It is authentic and sincere.
Yes. And
it helps a woman feel like she's valued and heard. Kind of important, guys. They want to be seen and heard. We hear this all the time. So something to keep in mind. And then what about for stonewalling? What do you say?
So it's a good idea to take a break, do something that is calming for you. Sometimes I have people go for a run. Sometimes it's a matter of, go take yourself a hot bath. Whatever it is, the key is that you're not sitting there rolling over all the arguments and negative thoughts.
What point you're going to make. Don't prepare for the next round.
That's not self-soothing. And that's what your goal is to self-soothe while you take that break and then come back.
Well, and if you think about it, let's say when things are getting a little heated, you're, instead of being at 0 even keeled, you're at a 7.
Yeah.
The whole point of self-soothing is to get you back closer to 0 so that when you guys do re-engage, you are both coming at it from a calm, peaceful place. There's no reacting. Right. You've gotten past all of that, and then you can move forward with good communication.
Yeah.
So there's some ways to deal with the 4 horsemen, how you want to slay them. I personally believe the high regard is probably the key to everything, because it controls the tone. It controls the energy. Don't ever forget, guys, that women can feel your energy. And if your energy is, I'll apologize so she'll shut the hell up, she's going to feel that, as opposed to genuinely feeling bad that what you did caused her to get upset, even though you may not have done anything wrong. And when you have done something wrong, because just apologize and own it if you're in the wrong. If her feelings got hurt, apologize for what you did, hurt her feelings.
For what you did, not for what you didn't do, though.
Yeah. And again, tone matters, energy matters. All right. Hope you found that helpful. If you did, please hit the subscribe and the like button. I'd appreciate it. Thanks, and have a great one, guys.